You're listening to episode 10 of the Inspired Entrepreneur's Guide podcast. Hi everyone, this is Darlene, and welcome back to another episode of the Inspired Entrepreneur's Guide, the podcast that encourages you to stop dreaming and start doing. Don't forget that you can find the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher, subscribe, and never miss a single episode. So this week I have Christina Nelson from Mystical Mojo Box on the podcast with me. And Christina is a longtime business associate and friend, and she's been on many of my past podcasts. And it's always super fun to talk with her and have her on the show as my guest. Well, this time around, we're talking about her subscription box service, and it's an online e-commerce retail service that sends out subscription boxes once a month with a theme, and the boxes include crystals, pendulums, aromatherapy products, candles, and more. During our conversation, Christina shared with me why she started the business, provide some tips for other people thinking about starting their own subscription box service, and more. So without any further delay, here's my conversation with Christina from Mystical Mojo Box. Today I have with me Christina Nelson, who is the owner of Mystical Mojo, which is a monthly subscription box service, and boxes include things like crystals, pendulums, aromatherapy products, candles, and more. So Christina, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, you're welcome. I was just thinking the other day, you are a veteran guest of my podcast. So thank you so much for always being a gracious guest and saying, sure, I'll come on and talk.
Well, it's fun. As you know, I can talk, so, it's not a difficult thing to get me to talk.
Oh, well, let's talk. Today we're going to talk about your subscription business and kind of talk a little bit about inspiring other people to get out of their comfort zone and start the business of their dreams.
Sounds good.
So the first question is, can you explain a little bit about your business and what made you decide to start it?
Well, Mystical Mojo Box, like several of my previous business ideas, came in a dream. I tend to wake up in the middle of the night with these ideas, and I have no idea what they are, so I write them down, and then months later, it dawns on me what I'm supposed to be doing with it. Mystical Mojo Box, I had already been offering some coaching for people who want to be a little more intuitive, and I called that Mystical Mojo Mentoring. And the box just kind of came out of that because I found I didn't enjoy the coaching as much as I enjoyed recommending products for them to get further in their spiritual journey, as we call it. People would say, what kind of crystals do I need for this? What kind of oils can I do? Is there something I can do for this? And I had more fun coming up with a little ritual for them to do for whatever was bothering them or whatever they wanted to manifest. And I was like, hey, that would be an awesome subscription box. So that's where it came from, is I just wanted to, I like giving gifts more than I like training people.
So in terms of that, creating it, did it take a while, from the dream, and then you probably took a while, but the question, I guess, is from the time you thought up the idea through actual launch, how long did that take? How long did preparing and the launch take to get to the point where you went online and you said, everybody, I'm here, come and subscribe to my subscription box service?
Well, the idea was floating around in my head for a while, and being the techie person that I am, I've always done service business. So going from a service business to a product retail business was a whole new ball of wax. So I knew that I had to really research first to make sure this was something that I could logically do. I live in the boonies. I have a small house. I need to make sure that I had space and time to do all this. So I slowly kind of wound down some of my clients that weren't long-term. My long-term ones I still take care of them because it's super simple to do. So why not keep them? And any other new clients I kind of pushed off on other people. And in the background, my husband and I were both researching, which he's not into this whole doing your own business thing, but he likes to hear how I do it. He likes to be involved in everything and be there for the whys I'm doing it. You know, He wanted to know why a box, why do this. So I showed him this is why, because I can do this actually easier and it's more convenient than having a service business. Because with the service business, I was on call, like almost all the time. As a web design person, that's what happens. Something breaks, you're the one they call. So I had to be in contact, like constantly. I had to be checking emails and being near a phone just in case. With a retail business and especially a subscription box, it's once a month. I send a box once a month. So, excuse me. So the majority of the month I spend promoting or talking to people or making connections or, writing up blog posts and things like that. Or just designing the boxes. Where am I going to get what I want to do? And then for 2 weeks, in a 2-week span, I order the product all at once. It comes within 4 days. And then I have a week and a half before I have to ship it out. So it gives me time to make the instructional videos and to, answer any questions or to tease some things about the box. So it took, I would say, from the time that I actually said, okay, this is what I'm doing, research it until I opened the doors, it was January to April. And then the doors weren't officially open until June 15th because April to June I had the site up, but nobody was able to purchase anything. It was just starting to get some people on the email list for a pre-launch.
Okay. Do you think, let's wipe away any of the previous business experience and starting a business experience you've had before, do you think it would have taken longer or do you think it would have taken just the same amount of time? So if you didn't have the experience of starting a business or it didn't really matter since this was a different type of business and in retail?
I think the fact that I've had businesses before for so long and so many different kinds, except for, obviously this kind, I was less scared about jumping in to do something like this because there is money up front with this. With my service business, there was very, very little money up front. I did everything I could to keep costs down to like nothing. I think I spent $100 the first 6 months I was in business. But with this, there was a lot of output ahead of time. So not being a business person previously, that probably would have scared me off. But because I've been there and I know that you have to sometimes put something in to get something out, then I made a plan about the finances and exactly what did I have to have and what could hold off for a while. And I made a budget and then I just jumped in. Like I said, no previous business experience. I probably would have just said, yeah, it's a nice idea, but I don't think so.
Right. One point I wanted to bring up, you were saying how you were researching things and your husband wanted to find out, to understand why. And one thing that I thought of is, well, it's fun because when you get these items that you're going to be putting in the boxes, it's like it's almost like you're getting a present, even though you're not keeping the stuff.
Right. So, my UPS guy loves me. My UPS man absolutely loves me right now. Once a month, he loves me to death because he's a really cool guy, and he goes, "Oh, now I get to see you more." So.
So going back to your business, I'm sure during those startup days and maybe even now because you're still, you haven't been a year in business yet. Have you? I feel like I'm losing time here. No. Okay.
Not doing this. I opened June 15th.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's only been really a little over 2 months.
Wow. It feels like ages probably because, we know each other and I know you've been working.
Imagine how it feels to me.
That's so funny. Well, in the short time that you've been in business with Mystical Mojo Box, what has been the hardest thing about starting?
I think it's just doing that whole switching from a techie service thing to just something totally different, something I've never done, not even close. I had to relearn how to write the copy on the website because I've always been very laid back and everything, but it was always geared towards telling people I know what I'm talking about, all this technical stuff, don't worry about, to here's the metaphysical side that a lot of people didn't know about me necessarily. So,
right.
you know, and I had to learn how to market differently. And also my entire tribe is not, you know, well, I can't say my entire because there is some, but I'd say 75% of my tribe from before is not the tribe I have now. So I have to rebuild my name and my, you know, my reputation as this kind of person other than the techie person.
Right, right.
That's the hardest.
Do you find that hard? Do you find, not that hard, obviously, you just said that's hard. Do you find it hard when people that know you as Christina, the techie, and now you're bridging that to, you know, the retail side, when they reach out to you, do you find it hard, like, because maybe you're busy with this one business that you're overwhelmed and you feel bad saying no to them?
Well,
difficult?
most of my previous clients or VAs that have known me forever, virtual assistants that have known me forever, they kind of saw the transition, or I've talked to them about it.
Gotcha.
And the previous clients, I let them know I was doing this long before I even started. I mean, I didn't even have the website up yet, and I told each of my clients that's ongoing what was going on. And they were all like, good for you. You know, we know that's a little bit a part of you, and, you know, glad to see that you're expanding on that and doing something different. So I had support from all the way around. So I was lucky that way. I do sometimes have some of the VAs that I've always done troubleshooting for who will get in touch with me and say, I got a client whose site's messed up. Can you help me out? And I say, sure, because, again, this business, at most 2 weeks of the month, I'm busy with product. But the rest of the time, I'm just, you know, in front of the computer trying to market. So I have time to fit in. And so it keeps both sides of my brain happy. So that's a good thing. That's always a good thing.
Definitely. I forget who I was working with. I was working with someone, and I said, no, I don't know if I can figure this out. I might have to get Christina involved. But I was able to figure it out. So.
Yay!
So
I tell people all the time, listen, if you really need a website and you're just starting out, I actually put it on Facebook not too long ago, that I will help anybody just starting out get a basic website up, and then I will teach you how to take care of it. There's so many out there that add all these things, and then they don't tell you how to run it. And I can't stand that. I've never been that person. I've always worked myself out of a job, we'll say, because every client I've ever had, if they wanted to tomorrow, if it's one of my ongoing, they could turn around and anybody else could pick up where I left off because I document it. I teach them. They have access to everything. I don't leave them at my mercy. And sort of with the box, it's the same idea. I mean, think about it. Some of the other boxes, many of the boxes, but we'll stick with the metaphysical type ones that give crystals and things like that. They're just giving you, they're giving you good stuff most times from what I've seen, but a lot of times it's just stuff that will sit on a cabinet, or it's a tchotchke, or it'll go in a drawer, or you'll give it to a friend for like a white elephant gift or something. It's not a whole thing. They're leaving you hanging, where I like to give kits. Last month was grounding. So you got a kit with stones and a flower of life grid that you laid out to make your whole home more grounding. And, you know, you got a couple other things. And then, like, this month is prosperity. I'm not telling anybody what's coming in it. There's items in it that will help you manifest prosperity in your life. And prosperity is not just money, but it'll bring a prosperity and abundance in your life. So it's things that all work together in a little kit. And, you know, that's what I want to do. I don't want to leave you hanging having to go search for things. I'm giving you everything you need right there.
Are you able to, so let's say, so grounding to me sounds wonderful, but obviously I've missed out on last month's box. Is there a way, like I know there's some services, I don't know if you've implemented it yet, to purchase back boxes that have in the past? So like, hey,
I've been looking into it because I always order a little bit extra product of each piece. just in case, because I got to have enough for me to do the videos, obviously.
Right.
But I always try to grab a little extra if it's in the budget. I have a certain budget for each box. So if I can swing in, adding 10 extra pieces of a crystal, I will do that. I am collecting things right now. I'm going to open a retail part of the store. It's actually going to be off of that site. You'll be able to get to it from mysticalmojobox.com. So mojotreasures.com is going to be where I put the extra items from boxes. If I have an entire kit box that I can put together, then I'll sell the box together. But mostly it's going to be, okay, well, like one of the boxes gets a little bit of oil to put on one of the candles. So I will sell some of the little things of oil. So you don't have to buy a whole bottle of oil. You can just get enough. And the candles to go with it, and, maybe 3 different kinds of crystals that are all the grounding crystals or something like that. So they'll still be in little packages. It might not be the whole kit, though.
Right. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, that makes sense, though.
Yeah, because I figure how many people necessarily want the whole box once they see everything? Sometimes you just want to pick and choose. So I figure that way they can take it as a kit or they can take it as single pieces.
Or if someone, uses up all the oil. I need more. So, yeah.
Yeah, because some of those oils aren't cheap. And, if I can get them in a bigger size and give you a small part of it, then it's cheaper for me and way cheaper for you.
Right, exactly. So what has actually been the best or most surprising thing about starting the subscription box service?
That, I guess the most surprising was how much extra time I made for myself. Because, again, I'm not on call 24/7 like I was before. I'm not, I'm less stressed. There's more time for me to hang out with my family. My husband is, after 18 years, changing jobs next month.
Wow.
So him doing that, it's okay. It's not going to disrupt a schedule that I had to keep before because I don't have much of a schedule now. It's just really, really nice that most of my days are emails and writing things on Facebook, or like you might have noticed earlier today, I posted my first writing thing on my other blog that I haven't done in a while. It's because I have the time to think, to just have time. And with the young one starting school on the 10th, I think it is, then I'll have even more time. So hopefully there'll be more creative projects that come out of it.
Right.
I need more, but
So this brings up a question that people might be thinking, okay, now you have all this great time. That's awesome. Can you, and I know you're still in your early stages, but over time, can having a subscription box service, in your opinion, be a way to supplement income or even have a full operating business where you wouldn't need someone additional working outside of the home?
It absolutely. I mean, I started this and I wanted to go slow because it was something new for me.
Right.
And I wasn't relying on the money from that coming in because I have my other clients. My husband's got a job, we're fine. So I made sure that was okay first, and that I had the budget to outlay ahead of time before any money started coming in. So for me, the way I'm doing it works as like a hobby side job for now. If it builds to a humongous thing, that's great, but I just don't want it to go too fast because I'm not quite prepared. But if somebody really wants to go at it gung-ho and finds a really good niche to be in, you can make a lot of money. You just have to know you have to really, really research the other companies that have gone big. Like Wet Shave Club is one you really want to look at if this is something you want to get into, because he took something that was nothing and went crazy with it. And Sumo Jerky is another one. These are 2 guys that I read everything they write on Reddit because they give you tons of information. So if you're in the idea phases of maybe doing something like this, go read their stuff. If you've never been on Reddit, just give it a try and go look for them, or just do a Google search for Sumo Jerky or Wet Shave Club and start looking for wherever those guys post because they give awesome information.
Awesome. Well, I kind of want to wrap around to one thing you said before to a question that I'd like to ask. So earlier you had said, if I had not been in service business before and I had this idea for the subscription box service, I might have been too scared off about the idea and not done anything. So for those people thinking about starting a business and they're saying, I'm scared, I just don't think I can do it, what advice would you have for them?
Oh, that's a tough one. Generally, anybody that wants to start a business, you really just have to decide to do it and then start. Always do research first. Always, always, always research. Find the ways that you can do things the cheapest way possible in the beginning. Everything does not have to be perfect from the start. Everything does not have to be beautiful. It just has to be out there. Start getting your name out there. Start getting the name of the company out there. Start answering questions on Facebook and on Twitter, and, so people know that you kind of know what you're talking about. And this goes for any business. For a box business, it's only slightly different because I can tell people all day that I can read tarot cards and that I can do pendulum dowsing, but that doesn't tell them anything about the box they're getting. So You have to focus on what about your box idea is different from all the other ones out there. Like I said, there's several that do mystical type stuff with crystals and things, but we're all a little different. We all have our own take on it. So if you have an idea that somebody else already had, go look at what they're doing. Now, what do you want to do different? What do you want to give your customers that they're not? It could just be, an experience that you had in the past that, shaped a way that you think differently. Now, with me, it was metaphysical. Everybody is, and I apologize to anybody who finds this offensive, but there's a lot of woo-woo crap out there where everything is, follow the universe. Law of attraction. I can manifest anything. No, you have to do the work. So I'm that person that, no, everything goes through my BS meter, even the metaphysical stuff that you can't touch or scientifically prove. I have to see it or feel it working for myself before I'll tell anybody else, hey, yeah, okay, this is good. So the things I put in the boxes are because of my experience and the way I think of things. You just have to find the niche that you want to do and research it. And once you find your unique take on it, jump in with both feet. Do it as cheaply as you can to start. My boxes are white. I bought white boxes because most of my stuff is very light colored, with my site is very bold, so I wanted a white box. I bought stickers. I found coupons for stickers online that I got them really cheap, like $100 and something stickers I got for like $47, and I didn't even need those. I could have done simple stickers somewhere, printed my own to start. The cards on the insert, those were a Vistaprint thing. I got Vistaprint to print the big cards, and I print on the back every month the updated info. They just print the front.
Oh, wow.
So everything is, I did it as cheaply as I possibly could. One day I'll have fancy boxes in the color I want with the name printed right on it, but I don't see a reason to do that. People aren't getting it for the box. They're getting it for what you're giving them, the experience, the opening, the sense for places that, you're going to send something that smells. You want something that looks nice and smells nice and is nicely packaged and it's useful. That's the big thing. So if you've got those covered, just find some money and jump in.
You've offered a lot of great tips already about starting a business, starting a subscription box business. But I'm going to ask you for one final tip that you might want to share with those listening about starting a subscription box business specifically.
The biggest thing would have to be research. You just have to research it because you don't want to jump into something that somebody else has done and really, really well. Don't reinvent the wheel. But research everything. Read a lot. And there's not a lot out there. I will say that. Now there's more than when I started at the beginning of the year. In the last few months, it's like exploded. But CrateJoy is the service that I use for my website right now. They handle everything in the back end. They have a subscription school. Go to CrateJoy, look up subscription school, and start reading. They give tons of information there. Like I said, go to Reddit. There's a subreddit called Subscription Boxes. Go on there and read what people are talking about, and then start looking in the other subreddits that are about subscription box businesses and, just entrepreneur stuff, small business stuff. But research, definitely. This is one that I feel needs to be researched. The service business, when I was doing that, I knew what I could do. I just had to get my name out there and start telling people, showing people my stuff.
Right.
With a retail type thing, you have to get out there and research your market.
Where can people go to learn more about the boxes and to sign up and all that? And I know you're on Instagram. I'm guessing everything can be found from the one site. So where can people go?
Okay. To sign up is mysticalmojobox.com. And if you use, I can't remember what the code is right now, but at the very top of the website, it has the code for, I believe, 15% off your first box. So use that. I think it's welcome 15, but I can't remember. So go look. If you want to see some of the boxes, there's some reviews on the actual website, and then I have mmbx.tv, and that's where I put the instructional videos for all the boxes. So you can go look at what comes in the box and how to use it, so that you get an idea of every month what it's going to be like. On Facebook, we're Mystical Mojo Box. At least I hope so. Not looking at it right now, so I can't remember. Instagram is Mystical Mojo. Twitter is Christina Mojo. I couldn't get the other one. Somebody has it. So, yeah, and there's Pinterest or Mystical Mojo Box. So if you just Google Mystical Mojo Box, you'll find everything. Or you can get to everything from mysticalmojobox.com.
Well, thank you so much for being a guest yet again. It's always so much fun talking with you. And thank you. Thank you for coming back.
Well, I will always do that because you're fun to talk to, too.
Thank you again, Christina, for coming on the show. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Well, that does it for another episode of the Inspired Entrepreneur's Guide podcast. I'll be back in 2 weeks with a brand new episode. And remember, until then, continue to be inspired by the most important person in your life, you. Thanks for listening. Until next time, this is Darlene Victoria, signing out.